This is Carita Parks with Bowie Television at the Under Armour Performance Center. The Ravens completed their last day of their 3-day mandatory minicamp. It was an early practice. They got on the field around 10:20 a.m., which compared to the other days, they've been getting on the field around 1 o'clock. It was also a light practice. Guys didn't have on helmets today, and they stayed away from any hard hitting, but they still got work in. A lot of throwing from Lamar Jackson to the wide receivers. And Rashad Bateman, he had a really great day. He caught some passes from Lamar, so we got to see them as they were building up their chemistry, but they were passes that stood out. Also, Nate Wiggins earlier in OTAs, he said that Rashad Bateman was the hardest for him to cover, and we kind of saw that today because Bate was shaking and baking him. So it was good to see him going into this 6-week break with something positive to build on. In addition to that, something of note, Marlon Humphrey, we did not see him work out during minicamp. Coach Harbaugh said he's still dealing with some nagging things, but he'll be ready to go for training camp, as well as Kyle Hamilton, who also didn't participate, recovering from an elbow surgery. So he is anticipated to be ready to go as well. As far as practice, I will say we saw flashes from both offense and defense. The defense definitely are still getting their hands on the ball. Marcus Williams had a breakup. Arthur Mallette, who has had a really strong camp, was in there too. So a lot of positives from the defense as well, since we know there's a lot of new faces there. So next up is training camp. Coach Harbaugh feels good about where the team is now. He wants them to enjoy their break, but also to continue to get some work in. Lamar Jackson said he would love to get some of the guys to come down to South Florida with him. So we'll see whether or not that happened. After practice, we also talked to safety Marcus Williams, who I said earlier has some good pass breakups, and he just talked about coming off of an injury last year and just stepping up more as a leader. He feels like he's always been a leader in the secondary, but with so many guys gone, it's really going to be an opportunity for him to step up. Also, Kyle Van Noy, spoke to him for the first time this offseason, and he's really excited about Zach Orr. Something he spoke to us about during Super Bowl is that he feels that with Zach Orr being a player, that makes him the perfect defensive coordinator. And so far, he said it's been great working alongside him. So as I said, training camp is coming up at the end of July. Be sure to stay tuned to Bowie Television for all your Ravens content. We'll definitely have more news and updates over the next couple weeks.
Yasmin, you're up here too. Good. We're going to get up to the mic, and you're going to tell them your name, all right, where you're from, what school you go to, maybe what your major is or something like that if you want, what you're going to study, and just tell them who you are, okay? We'll just go one at a time, then you can just head right back. Sound good? Congratulations.
My name's Ryan Trevesi. I go to McDaniel College. I am from Harford County, Maryland, and I am studying environmental studies with a specialization in biology.
Congratulations.
John Fish from Bowie, Maryland. I'm a rising senior at UVA, history major, and member of the track and field team.
I'm Yasmin Afneged. I'm from Baltimore County, and I go to Dartmouth, and I'm a Gov major.
Wow. Congratulations. Our future leaders right there. Congratulations. How about that? Isn't that impressive? That's a resume right there. It's big credentials. So we had a good practice, and we're excited about what we've accomplished. Looking forward to where we're going. Even though the players will be away, they'll still be training and working to get ready for training camp and what's in store there. So that's our next step. What questions you have?
John, I didn't see Marlon out there, and we haven't seen him, do a lot of it. What's he been kind of doing?
Yeah, just nagging things. He should be ready for training camp. Shouldn't be a problem.
Coach, we see Charlie Pollard got a little buffer this year. Is that a little boost of confidence for his position?
Yeah, he looks good. Charlie's worked really hard. He has put on a lot of muscle, lean muscle mass, and I know he's committed to all the aspects of being a good tight end. He wants to be a really good blocker, and that's important to him. And he's preparing himself just for that.
Coach Roquan Smith, All-Pro, Pro Bowler, been here for all the voluntary workouts, mandatory. Really a big day today with his play. Just how does he lead by example for some of these younger guys to be a pro?
That's exactly what he does, Tyler. I mean, he does lead by example. He does it, but he does it every way. I mean, he's also a vocal leader. He's also a kind of an inspirational leader. He does it on the field. He does it in the weight room. He does it in the meeting room. He's one of those guys. He's one of those special kind of guys.
Coach, are guys able to separate it all without pads on the offensive line?
No, not really. Not really. That'll be for training camp. I think all those guys have done what they need to do in terms of preparing for that, but that'll happen first few weeks of training camp, and then on into the preseason games. We'll see where we go. Can you say it a little louder?
Kadir Ishmael was working with the tight ends for individuals. Is that a consideration of having him work in that position, or just exploring options?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's exploring options. It's so everything nowadays, you put them in groups, you call them tight ends and wide receivers, but a lot of times they do the same jobs, So having him over there working on some of those techniques was what we were doing, and he'll probably be kind of an inside receiver type of a guy. Not to say he couldn't go outside and go get fades and things like that. He's so big, but I would say he's really looked good. I mean, he's had a nice camp. Signed as a tryout player. Obviously, he's got a family pedigree. It's incredible, but he's doing it on all his own. And he's made a couple catches today. Look good out there.
John, with Isaiah Likely, we know what he can do over the last couple of years, and he's made quite a few wild plays this week. How impressed have you been with his game?
Happy with Isaiah, I guess as expected, and work ethic too. Locked in every single day, been here every day. Another guy who's been here every day. I have so many of the guys that have done that, and it shows. So he's talented. He's going to be a big part of what we do.
John, a few days ago you told Jerry Coleman that one of your big takeaways from AFC Championship is that you want to get the ball more in the quarterback's hands. What does that look like to you so far?
Yeah, I think they're talking about all the pre-snap stuff, operational type stuff at the line, in the huddle, out of the huddle, at the line. Try to make some decisions at the line in terms of growing the offense in that direction. It's looked good, but we still have a long way to go. I think everybody would tell you that. We've got a lot of work to do with that. And it will be an ongoing process throughout the season for sure. But that's the direction we're going.
John, obviously there are high expectations for Trenton Simpson stepping in at inside linebacker. How do you think he's handled that this spring, running with the ones, and just how he's looking going into training camp?
I think he has it really good. I think he's done a great job. Trenton is he's a quick learner. Something even as simple as pump protection footwork, which he played a little bit as a rookie. First couple of days of the phase 2 stuff, he really didn't look very good with the footwork. Like everything else, we're chasing perfection and we're confronting every issue. We confronted the punt footwork, and now he looks fantastic. I mean, he's perfect in what he's doing out there. I think that is kind of an example of all the other stuff he's doing on defense. He knows what he's doing out there. Now the next step will be training camp, preseason games, and on from there.
John, Pat Ricard's another guy who looks good. He sits down about 10 pounds, very fit. He feels a little quicker. Last year, there was some sort of question or talk about how he might fit in, and we kind of, given the change in the offense, and we saw how that worked out. How do you sort of, you just envision that sort of growing, or how do you view that role kind of after seeing year one with
Yeah,
Nemo?
I think it'll evolve kind of the direction it goes in terms of where the offense goes and what we need. But there's always going to be a requirement for a guy like Pat if you have a guy like that. And I mean, the questions last year were pretty much kind of debunked. He played a lot, and I think it's going to be the same thing this year. I mean, you got a good football player, you got to put him out there. So he'll be out there playing, and we'll find a lot of great roles for him to do. I mean, the nice thing is he can actually run routes and catch the ball. You know, and that's something that people kind of take for granted that he wouldn't be able to do. He's always, I mean, I can remember Coach Phillips out here. I love Coach Phillips out here with his defensive coordinator for the Rams, basically saying, what's Pat's number? 42? 42. He goes, don't cover 42. He's a defensive lineman. You know? Very next play, caught a touchdown pass in the flat. You know? That's right. Don't cover 42.
John, what's kind of the getaway message to the guys? You know, kind of your message to them as they go on this kind of 6-week break on their own before training.
Yeah, there's a lot of good messages, probably the ones you'd expect to hear, but really there's an intentionality to everything we do. There should be a plan in terms of what we're trying to accomplish every day. You know, so what are you trying to accomplish for the next weeks that lead into training camp to put you in position to have the best training camp, to handle the loads involved, become the best team we can be, and to be intentional about that every single day. That's the core of the message.
John, what have you seen out of Ardarius Washington, a guy that's dealt with injuries but has kind of flashed out there and practiced a lot? Sorry.
Ardarius Washington.
Ardarius Washington.
I thought there was going to be more. Ardarius looked really good. Yeah, I feel great about it. I think he's already established himself. I mean, he's played in the game. Every game he's played well. He's looked great in practice, and let's get him out there and get him in some more games. I think that's the goal.
We can do two more.
Coach, knowing that you can't control what these guys are doing while they're away, Lamar was expressing concern a little bit about trying to get these guys together with him in Florida. Is it your hope that they will get together?
Yeah, I mean, that's how you word the question. Obviously, he was going to try to get those guys together, and he's excited about that, and that's great. That's cool.
John, how excited are you to face off against your brother this season?
I'm looking forward to it. I guess. I mean, how excited was I to face off against him in a driveway? We were playing, one-on-one hockey, or one-on-one basketball, or wrestling. Or my dad said, "Put the gloves on, go into the basement if you want to fight each other all the time." So I guess it was kind of exciting, but then again, it wasn't that great. Especially when he got bigger. That's going to be more and more challenging. So I think that day will come when it comes. So we're not really thinking about it too much, but when it comes, it'll be kind of cool. It'll be a story.
James, you close it out.
Malik Cunningham making the transition from quarterback to wide receiver. What are you seeing in his transition?
I think Malik's looked good at wide receiver. He's shown a lot of speed, a lot of quickness, kind of a natural at the position. And he also, I've seen that he understands the game from the perspective of the quarterback. So routes and coverage and timing and things like that have been excellent.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Good, thanks.
Couch. Yeah. Now you've had a chance to change numbers. Now you're a Raven. How much different is it this year?
The biggest difference is that everybody knows me now, right? The staff behind the scenes, just getting to know them and their families, knowing them, just that relationship, and just coming back with the guys that I already know. Having that relationship with guys like Kyle Hamilton, Roquan, Dolph, and Javo, just guys like that you get to come back with familiar faces and get to know better. And just knowing the defense, I mean, that helps coming back and you know what you're doing. That just makes you and allows you to play a little bit faster.
When you walked out the door in January, did you have the sense that you would be back? Or?
Yeah, I always keep an open mind to everything. I felt like we had a good relationship and it was open communication. We felt like it was benefit to both parties, and I'm happy to be here. Appreciate Boss Man, Mr. B, and EDC and Harbs for making that happen. Just pumped to be back with the teammates and, repent for our sins after last year.
As you were making your decision, how much of a factor did it play that Zach Orr was going to be stepping into Mike McDonald's shoes?
Yeah, I love Zio. Big fan of his. Have been since he's played. He played the right way when he played, and he coaches the right way too. Mike Mack going on, moving on. Congrats to him again. It's awesome to see him and his efforts of what he did here, and he got the benefits of that of becoming a head coach, which I believe he was ready for. And Zio stepping in, and he's going to do a great job. He has a relationship, I would say, with everybody on defense, and you don't see that everywhere you go. Zio passions himself on relationships and communication. He's done a really good job of communicating what he wants done, and you better do it.
Kyle, going off that, what are maybe some of the biggest differences you've seen with Zach Orr's defense and how he does things compared to last year?
Yeah, I don't think I'll go into the specifics of that because, you know, they both stem from the same tree, right? But they're both different at the same time. You know, Mike McDonald had his style and Zio has his style. I'm excited about Zio's style. I think it's going to continue to flood into the NFL because of what they've been able to do here for so long, and I believe we're going to be a very, very good defense. And it starts with him, and then it starts with the rest of the players executing all 11 of us each and every play.
It seems like Zach can be kind of an aggressive play caller. He's aggressive in a kind of mentality in terms of dialing up.
How do you know he's aggressive?
Exactly. Do you think that could be kind of a piece of his, you know, as he calls plays? You know, it's early here, but you get a sense that could be a big piece of how he calls games.
Yeah, he was an aggressive player, so I think that's what you're going to want to see him as a D coordinator is be aggressive, but he's also he's really smart. Very, very smart. He knows defenses. He eats, breathes, sleeps football, and that's what you want. Playing for a coach like that who has literally dedicated his, I believe it's 32 years now of just straight football.
Kyle, I'm curious your thoughts on a young second-year player, Tavius Robinson.
Yeah.
Just playing alongside him, and what do you see from him, you know, this week?
Yeah, honestly, getting better every day. And I know that's cliche to say, but he's honestly getting better each and every day. He's doing the right things, and every time you understand concepts and defenses, and you graduate from football 101 to football 102, you're going to see improvements. And I think just his familiarity of understanding the defense more and more each day, he's allowed to play faster, play with more confidence and swagger, and that's I think what we're going to see this year.
Kyle, last year you kind of just had to jump into action. This year you're going to spend more time with the team, the coaches, the staff, like you said. Are you finding benefits in that both like for yourself and for your ability to lead the defense?
Yeah, I think it's good because I say this without saying it in the wrong way. The bullets aren't flying yet, so you get a better understanding that things are a little bit more calm. You can build relationships. You're not on the field popping in week 3, actions going on, hey, what's your name type of deal. So it's fun to be around guys that I know and get to know them, their families, hang out with them off the field, build that relationship to when things get on the field and a little hazy, you have a better understanding where each and every person's coming from.
2 more guys?
Another guy.
Or girls.
Or girls.
Yeah.
Another guy, Dafe Owe, who you spent a lot of time with. You saw him obviously growing last year. Just knowing his talent and where he could grow, where do you think his ceiling is, or how much better could he even from where he's already done?
Yeah, he's impressive, man. He's a specimen. Really enjoyed working with him, building that relationship. I think I try to keep him next to me all the time and make sure he's always pressing and doing the right thing. And I expect I expect more from him than myself. I really expect him to bounce off the charts this year. He showed a lot of signs last year, but I think him gaining confidence, understanding who he is, he's still maturing. I just asked him how the hell old was he today, and he said 25, and I was like, oh, it's amazing to see how mature he's gotten already, and I'm excited to see his future, and I'll be his cheerleader, that's for sure, because I'm sorry I'm saying this again, but I'm really excited to see how high of a ceiling he can get to.
Kyle, I just wanted to ask, last season, how much that rejuvenate you in your career? And you're talking about expectations for Owe. Coming off that year, what are the expectations for yourself coming into this season?
Yeah, I just want to continue to show myself and show people that I can still play at a high level. I feel like I've been underappreciated in my career. I feel like I don't think I've lost a step in my eyes, just because I've been playing different positions my entire career. In college, I played on the ball, and then in the NFL for my first, I think it was till 2019, I played off the ball. And I would love to see how many people could stay in the league making that transformation, or I've been asked to do both in one season. So I've been asked to do a lot, and I think that may have hindered some things because I wasn't able to focus on, pass rush or, covering people. I was never able to focus on just one specific thing. And this year, stemming to last year, I was able to focus on pass rushing that entire time. So I feel like hopefully, it'll be like my third year ever out of my 11 that I get to focus on just pass rushing. The other year was in 2019 where I had a really good year, and then last year where it was just all pass rush. So I'm expecting big things from myself, and hopefully you guys are too.
Is that your natural personality come out, or are you more intentionally embracing that leadership role in the secondary?
I mean, I've always been a leader. I've always been vocal. I mean, that's just something I've been doing. I mean, if you've been out here the last couple of years that I've been here, I've been doing the same thing. So it's nothing new to me. I mean, it's just something that's true to me.
Marcus, what was your reaction when Zach Orr got the D coordinator job, and how much have you interacted with him in previous 2 years?
I'm excited. You got a guy who's been out there on the field, done what we've done, and now he's transitioned to the DC job, which I think he's doing a good job of right now. He's going to put us in some good positions to make some plays and dial it up. So I'm excited to see what our future holds for this year, and I hope he comes out there and does exactly what he knows he's going to do.
What do you think the Zach Orr defense will look like?
His defense.
Were you surprised at the ascension of Kyle Hamilton, and do you take any responsibility in helping him to get to the level where he is now?
Kyle's always been a good player. He's worked his butt off day in and day out. I mean, I helped him here and there, but that's all his doing. That's his work, his off-season work, his film room work. I don't take credit for any of the stuff that he's done. He's a great player. He's put in the time and the effort to go out there and make those plays. He's confident, and you see that by his play. So I think just him putting that time in and respecting the process, he comes out there and he performs.
Marcus, you really played through that injury, grinded through that injury last year. How eager are you to show everybody what you can do when you have two fully functioning arms?
Yeah, I mean, my arms are always functioning. It's not about showing anybody anything. It's about showing myself what I can do. I never worry about showing anybody what I can do. I just stay true to me, go out there, perform to the best of my ability, no matter what's going on. And that's just, as football players, you got to, overcome adversity and face that look in the eye and just never give up.
You have a lot of talented players in the secondary, veterans like yourself and young players. What do you think the expectations are for the secondary?
I think we just gotta, find that identity coming out in training camp. I mean, that's the most important thing. Have that good camaraderie, and I think this is a new year. This is not who we were last year, so now we gotta bond over again and reconnect on that level. But I think we'll be some high playmakers back there, physical guys attacking the ball and take the ball away.
Marcus, along those lines, you guys have used a lot of three safety looks the last couple of years, and obviously Gino's moved on in free agency. What have been some of your impressions, especially with Kyle missing a little bit of time recently, but Ardarius Washington, Trey Smalling, some of those young safeties that you've been able to work with the last couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, it's always been like next man up mentality. Even if somebody's not here right now, we're all still working, and he's still out here acting as if he's a coach. Kyle thinks he's a coach now or something. But no, I think they're doing a great job learning the playbook, and everybody's pretty much interchangeable in our defense. So everybody learns every position, so they know what to do. And I think just going out there and having it in practice, helping us perform for the upcoming season.
This is the time of year where there's always a million rankings that come out about players. And I think you and Kyle, somebody said, this is the best safety duo in the league. Just your thoughts about that and kind of what you two want to show together this year.
Rankings don't mean anything. I mean, performance from last year is not performance from this year. we know what we can do. We know what type of players we are. You know, we're confident in ourselves. I mean, I think I'm the best. He thinks he's the best. So everybody thinks they're the best. But who performs the best? You know what I mean? So I mean, I think our expectation is to be our best, to excel past our best, and go out there and perform and help us win some games.
From your leadership perspective, what's the messaging as everyone kind of goes their separate ways before training camp?
Right now, it's just stay smart. Get your mind right. Get ready for the season. Get healthy because it's a long season ahead.
How nice is it to sort of feel physically back to yourself, presumably, at this point?
I've been myself. I mean, this has been me. You ask about injuries, I'm gonna tell you the same thing. I've been me. This is me. I'm gonna just continue to get better.
What are your impressions of Wiggins so far?
Man, he's fast. He's in and out of breaks. I think he's gonna be a good player for us. I mean, it's just been OTA, but you see him flying around already. So once these passes come on, we'll see a little bit more what he could do. So I'm excited for that.